Yo, what is up guys, this is Rocky here and welcome to my full review of the Blue Microphone's Yeti USB microphone. You can pick this up for about £80 to £90 or about $100 or €100 depending on where in the world you live. All of the audio for this review is indeed recorded with the microphone itself. There is a little bit of EQ mixing on it, but in the next couple of days I will release a tutorial on how to record and also EQ your sound properly to give it a much better overall quality. So Blue started off making very high-end microphones for studio use, but they now have a really wide range of USB microphones that are well established and also really popular. They are probably the most popular USB microphones used on YouTube and also in podcasting and especially the gaming community in general. Even though the Yeti is at the top of Blue's line, only being beaten by the Yeti Pro, it is very reasonably priced and also comes packed full of features. So you can use this for a wide range of uses, for example recording instruments, recording voiceovers, conferencing, and other general use. So the key to the Yeti's diversity are its 3 premium 14mm condenser capsules. Now these allow for 4 different polar patterns. I will go through each polar pattern now, giving you a sample of unedited audio so you can hear what each polar pattern sounds like separately. Starting with stereo. This records sounds from both the left and the right and split it into the left and right channels. This is good for vocals, recording choirs, instruments, and other audio sources that need direction. As you can see, if I move to the right of the microphone, you will only be able to hear me in the right channel. If I move to the left of the microphone, it'll be the opposite, you'll only hear me in the left channel. However, if I come back into the centre of the microphone, you'll be able to hear me from both sides equally. I've now switched into omnidirectional mode. This picks up sounds from all the way around the microphone. This is good for conference calls. Blue also lists field recordings and orchestras and events where you might be in the middle of a band that goes all the way around you. However, you don't want to be using this mode if you can help it. It's got the least sound quality by far compared to the other modes, but it does do a decent job when you need that extra coverage. We've now got bidirectional, which is going to be great for interviews and also vocal duets where you've got one person on either side of the microphone and you don't need to be picking up unnecessary sounds from the right hand side and also the left hand side. And it can also be useful for recording bands and also other live music. And now we are back to cardioid, which is what this whole review is recorded on. Only sound from directly in front of the microphone is picked up. This is great for podcasts, voiceovers, vocals and also instruments. As for the overall feel of the microphone and the quality, it seems pretty good. The metal base and the metal microphone itself feel very sturdy. However, the plastic buttons don't feel that good quality. They feel like they may break if you're a bit too vicious with them, and they also wobble about a bit. I've heard this problem is fixed in the Yeti Pro, but obviously you don't want to spend twice as much money just to get some volume switches that feel good quality. Now I'd love to see more thought go into the buttons and how they fit and how the quality feels of them. But in all honesty, they're not going to be used that much, and the only 2 controls I can see myself using are the gain switch and also the polar pattern selector, and they both seem much more solid compared to the buttons on the front. Another huge downside in my opinion for this microphone, and that is that there's only one shock mount available that will fit this microphone, and that's made by Blue itself. Unfortunately they have put a rather large price tag on it, and it costs way much more than it should, and a lot more than any other shock mounts on the market. Now normally you can get universal shock mounts that will fit most microphones, but in the Yeti's case it is just way too big. As you can see here, it's a really wide microphone, and I haven't came across any universal shock mounts that actually fit this mic. If you don't know what a shock mount is, basically isolates a microphone from the base and the stand, and therefore anytime you may bump the stand or any vibrations coming through the surface that you've got the microphone mounted to, the microphone won't pick it up. If I tap around my desk and make a little bit of noise on the stand itself, you'll hear all them bumps and taps. With the shock mount you won't be able to hear this. So as you can see, it's quite a considerable loss, and most likely a marketing strategy from Blue to get you spending more money on their products. So hopefully from the sound you hear in this review you can decide for yourself whether you would like to purchase this microphone for your own use. But if you're still undecided, I would really recommend it. If you're on a less of a budget, maybe go for one of Blue's lesser microphones, like the Blue Snowball for example. But if you really want to get the best audio quality, then go for this. I certainly don't regret it, and I bet you won't either.